So we go into the Europa League at home to Feyenoord. Another must-win game really, because although most people don't want us to be in the Europa League, I'm not too fussed if we actually... I would like us to win it. It's a trophy we've never won. And we're sitting third in the group, which I was hoping we'd get it done and dusted, and that these last two games wouldn't mean fuck all, but we've fucked around, fannied around, and it's come to the last two games. Now, if we win this game comfortably and get a draw in the last game, I think that means that we will qualify. So I'm hoping that Manchester United can go out and get the 3 points, get a couple of goals, then we will be ahead of them, because I think it goes on head to head who finishes in which position if they're level. And they're leading 1-0 from the previous encounter where we weren't nowhere near our best. Away from home we haven't been good enough in this qualifying so far, 2 defeats, which is really disappointing. And 2 wins at home. Hopefully we can get the job done in this game, because it's going to mean that if we can qualify and get through some hopefully relatively easy games until you get to the latter stages at least, but there's not too many teams in it that would really scare the living shits out of me at this moment in time. True, some teams can come in from the Champions League, but I'm looking at them and thinking that on paper Manchester United are more than capable of winning this competition, and I'm not too sure if we're going to finish in the top 4 this season. If come January, February we're 8-9 points off top 4, which could potentially happen, and we're out, we're almost doomed for 4th place, and we're out of the Europa League, and that's going to be a real shit, because we won't have either chance of getting in the Champions League. If we don't make it this season, then God help us, because we've had 2 seasons out of the last 3 without getting into it, which just isn't good enough for Manchester United, for the fact that we've spent so much money over the past few years. But I'm still hopeful. The performances have been positive. It's just that we're not scoring enough goals and putting games to sleep quick enough. You're looking at the Stoke game at home and the Arsenal game. 2 games where we've scored goals, the first goal, and we've not put the games to bed. It's really disappointing against Arsenal, relying on 2 players who are still relatively young. Martial, who is performing really bad at this moment in time, not on form, and Rashford, whose goals have dried up somewhat lately, who's only 19 and 20 respectively. It is disappointing. We shouldn't be relying on these 2. They're not good enough for Manchester United to win the league, certainly, and I don't know if playing these 2 week in, week out, certainly will we challenge it for top 4. I'm not too sure. But hopefully we're going to see a better Manchester United performance in this game. Well, I mean, the performance wasn't bad against Arsenal, but certainly in the attacking sense, I want to see some more goals, certainly, in this game. I'm hoping that he's going to make a couple of changes to the starting lineup. I'm hoping at the back. Luke Shaw's been training for over a week now, so hopefully he can come back in at the back. I'm not too sure what was happening with Daley Blind, but if they're both fit, then we could play Blind at the centre-back alongside probably Rojo, and then it may be Darmian at right back again, or he might even go for Fosu Mensah. I'm not too sure if Fosu Mensah has been injured or not, because he seems to be picking Darmian a lot more lately, so I think he must be injured. Midfield, I wouldn't expect Carrick to play again another game, but I'm not too sure what's up with Fellaini. So, and maybe he'll go with Schneiderlin. I'm not too sure if he will. We will have to wait and see, but if Fellaini's not fit and he doesn't want to go with Schneiderlin, then he's going to go with Herrera, Pogba and Carrick again, which I'm not too sure what he's going to do there. And in the wider areas, I'm not too sure what we're going to see. Probably going to see Jesse Lingard come back in on one hand side. He might well keep Marcus Rashford as well. I've got a feeling that he's going to take Anthony Martial out the team after he took him off. I was pretty sure he was going to take him off against Arsenal. Then I would expect Wayne Rooney in behind Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has had a while off now, so I think he will play him again up front for this game. I'm hoping Manchester United can get a couple of early goals. If we can get a couple of early goals, put the game to bed early, like we did in that game against Fenerbahce at home, then relax a bit for the second half. It's what we want to see from Manchester United. Just relax, put the game to bed, 2 or 3 goals, but whether we can get that, I'm not too sure. Some weeks we've had that, like against Swansea, Leicester, Fenerbahce, and then other weeks it's been really difficult, so you just don't know what you're going to get at the moment. It's not really like under Louis van Gaal, where you knew pretty much every week was going to be a struggle to score 1 or 2 goals, but I think Jose Mourinho is going to get it right at some point. but I still think it's going to need another 1 or 2 transfer windows to sort this mess out. But as I say, I'm a bit worried when you play Rashford and Martial up front without Zlatan, because the experience just isn't always there, which is a bit of a worry. But I think probably Juan Mata, who's probably for most people been one of our best players this season, will probably be given a game off for this game. But really at home, Manchester United should still be good enough to beat these. They are top of the Eredivisie. I think they won 3-0 this weekend gone. Dirk Kuyt scored one. We know about that bloke who scored against Manchester United on a couple of occasions in a couple of games for Liverpool. So he could be a danger man if he's playing. I don't know what sort of team they're gonna put out. I would presume it would be fairly strong. A strong lineup, because they're going to want to go through from this group. A point here would be a great result for them, but we really do need to get the 3 points. We're on 6 points. Fenerbahce and Feyenoord are on 7 points. So if we could win this game, then we would go up to 9 points. One more point from that game against Zoya Luhansk, which I think we're more than capable of getting at least a point there, because they are virtually on. I think they're out, as good as out of the competition now. Certainly if they lose to Fenerbahce, which I'm sure they probably will, then they'll be out of the competition, which will mean that they won't give a shit about that last game if they're finishing bottom of the group. So then Manchester United can hopefully go to Russia, and hopefully they will rest any of their better players, because we actually had a hard game against them at Old Trafford. We struggled to break them down. Hopefully they won't give a shit, and we can go there and turn them over as well. But 4 points from these 2 games, a win at Old Trafford and the other one, should see Manchester United go through. But we really want to go through as winners if we're going to go through. So then I think if we finish second, we may well get a Champions League team, which we really wouldn't want to get at this stage of the competition. We want to get someone like we got last season with Midtjylland, an easier opposition, so we can get through the last 32, because there is a lot of games in this. But this is still a competition that we could win if it falls apart in the league completely. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and come on United. I'm going to go actually for a 2-0 Manchester United win. I'm going to put my neck on the line for this one and say we win it 2-0. I would actually be quite happy with the 2-goal win. It would pretty much mean that we'd only need a point then, I think, from our final game. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.